It's bronzer battle time. You're going to find out about 2 new bronzers and a lip product thrown in for good measure today with me, Rebecca. I have been a fashion and beauty journalist and editor for, well over 20 years, but these magazines are starting to die out. So I brought my show over here to YouTube, where I have Not Fit for Print Beauty. It's kind of a beauty magazine that you can basically kind of figuratively flip through every day or so here on YouTube. Okay, so we're going to look at new bronzers today. I know you need a new bronzer like you need a hole in the head, but it's fun to check them out. We got new bronzers from Lancome, which I have a lot to talk about with Lancome, and by Terry, and a new lip product from Lancome while we're at it. But I wanted to get these 2 bronzers in side by side, and yeah, I'm wearing them a little over applied, also side by side. But you'll see that in the demo coming up. So let's talk about the products we have here. Lancome, first of all. Lancome is a brand that I find very interesting because I never quite know, cleaning up a little bit here as I talk to you, I never quite know with Lancome if I'm looking at my grandma's compact or something incredibly cool and young and inspired that Lisa Eldridge has done. Do you know what I mean? Like, because she's over at Lancome as their creative director, their global director. I never know. Is Lancome staid and boring, or are they exciting and new? And it feels like they're making the push towards exciting and new more and more. They have reformulated. They have those little eyeshadow, I think they're Quints actually, with 5 shades. And they're starting. They have the old ones. You have to be careful. It takes a little bit of detective work. They have the older ones on a lot of sites, but they had the new over at Ulta. And if you'll indulge me in a small complaint about Ulta, and I bet my comment section is going to fill up with others who've had this same experience, I had 2 accounts accidentally from 2 different email addresses on Ulta, and they complained to me about it. They told me to merge them. And they gave me the number to call. When I called, they said, you got to merge them in store. So when I called the store, they said, we don't do that in store. You got to call. And I called, and they said they'd escalate it. And what happened in the process is they absolutely locked me out of Ulta. I can purchase in store in Ulta, but this Lancome product was online. I called them. I spent an hour on the phone with them. They sent me a reset finally, a password reset, and it was continually expired. Spent another hour on the phone with them, and they say they are escalating it, and I've heard nothing. And yesterday, in order to get this eyeshadow palette, because it's not in any of my Ulta stores, for review for you guys, I drove over to my parents' house so that it would have a different IP address. I think I still used I used my work email here, and somehow it figured out it was me, and it locked me out again. I know Ulta does not have a vendetta against me personally, but for some reason, I'm aware of that. But for some reason, their system seems to have just blocked me and is making it extremely difficult, and I'm very frustrated. This is not the first time I've heard of Ulta or Sephora actually doing this to someone. So I'm having Ulta troubles, and because of that, I was able to order this bronzer from Lancome itself and this lipstick from Sephora. But the eyeshadow palette, which I know is the new one at Ulta, I can't get because Ulta won't let me purchase through them unless it's in store. And I don't have it in store. Have I complained enough? I thought it would spark some conversation, though. I really did. So kind of chime in below if you've had something similar happen and tell me what you did. Okay, so let's talk about that. So that is the Tint Idole Ultra Wear Skin Transforming Powder Bronzer. It's $45. We're going to work with it today. Comes in 7 shades. I bought the shade 3 Light Medium. Really pretty, like I told you. Is it old lady or is it pretty? I never quite know. They say this is 24-hour wear. It is the one on this side of my face. And it is matte. They talk about the shade choice. You know, shade choices in bronzers. And when we go to the demo, we're going to talk about this a lot. The shade choice in bronzer is really varied. We're not so specific as we used to be when we talked about bronzing versus contouring and where to place it. Some people really want to still be sticklers for that, but I think the rest of the world has moved on, and we just kind of warm up our face however we see fit with however deep or not deep we would like to go. And I, for one, really like it that way. The only issue I see with this, I have a comparison on this one, a huge comparison, which we'll talk about in the demo. But the only drawback on this is that it does have a kind of burst of floral fragrance when you first open it. Darn it. It dissipates, but it's there. Like, kind of hits you in the back of the throat. It's really floral. You know what I mean? If you really sniff it. But a very pretty creamy bronzer. which might give you a hint of what I'm going to compare it to later. I also picked up, while we're at it, just because I picked it up at Sephora, the Idole Squalane 12 Butterglow Hydrating Lip Balm. Honestly, could there be any more words in the title of a lip balm? It's just a lip balm. It's very self-important with all those words. This is $32. I got it in the shade $60 Million Baby, but it comes in 8 shades, and I will swatch that with these bronzers for you in 2 different lights. We're wearing it. It's a perfectly lovely little lip balm, but everybody's making them now. But I also wanted to look at the new By Terry bronzer. Kind of an interesting bronzer for a number of reasons. First of all, this is the By Terry Tea to Tan Sun Powder. They got clever on us and didn't call it a bronzer. It's $69, which is considerably more than the Lancome at $45, but By Terry is a much smaller, independent, makeup artist-run brand with not as many resources, okay? Beautiful casing. Look at this on the outside. Absolutely beautiful. Also scented, interestingly enough, but not like roses. We're used to By Terry having a rose scent. This is kind of a candy scent, like a sugary scent. It's actually quite pleasant, but it does have that scent there. This is made to have a second skin feel, also to be matte. They want it to be more than a bronzer, to be able to darken your, like we talked about, darken your foundation, give yourself a sun-kissed look, actually bronze with it, bronzer with it, whatever it is that you want to do. The definitions of that are widening. Both of these products, though, whether it be the Lancome or the By Terry, have a really creamy, thicker feel when you touch them, and that reminds me, they have scent. The one that they remind me of does not have a scent, I admit, but still in feel, not in scent, but in feel, these really remind me of a very popular new-ish bronzer. Take a guess. I'll tell you during the demo, but just for fun, stop and just take a quick guess as to what you think it is. Okay, we are going to try on this lip product, both of these bronzers, talk about applying bronzer, talk about some comparisons, but I want to get some swatches in. First, let's just go ahead and do this in, we'll do it in 2 lights, but let's do it in studio lighting. We have the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Skin Transforming Powder Bronzer in 03 Light Medium on the left, followed by the By Terry Tea to Tan Sun Powder in 2 Medium Bronze, and then all the way by my wrist is that Lip Idole Squalane 12 Butterglow Hydrating Lip Balm in $60 Million Baby, but that comes in 8 shades. You're going to see it much, much better if we take the whole show on the road and go on outside into the warm California sunshine, where we have the Lancome new bronzer on the left, the By Terry new bronzer on the right, and the Lip Idole Squalane Lip Balm Butterglow all the way to the right towards my wrist. Okay, I want to get to applying these and comparing to a new, very popular one. This might save you some money, actually. All right, so let's get on over there. Do take a moment and subscribe if you have not yet, because that's the greatest gift that you can give me. Let's check these out. Okay, I want to try these 2 bronzers on, and I'm actually going to put them side by side on my face because I think they're kind of similar. And they're particularly similar to one product, so we're going to talk all about that. I thought just for fun, let's go ahead and start, since I swatched it, since I picked it up, since the case is so pretty, with this Lancome Lip Idole Squalane 12 Butterglow Hydrating Lip Balm. Did they reach the maximum? How do they fit that on the box? Make the font even smaller. Okay, so let's try this on. This is $60 Million Baby. Oh, that is comfy. Boy, everybody is making one of these now, aren't they? And you know, that's really pleasant scent. It's kind of a vanilla / fruity scent, and it's really pretty. Look, I gotta tell you guys, I could sit here, I really could, and I could split hairs telling you which one I prefer. This one, Rabanne, MAC, Mario, YSL, Guerlain, Givenchy. I could go on and on and on splitting hairs about which one is the best one. If you let me just be honest, okay? I can't help but be honest. If you blindfold me, okay, and put one in my hand and had me put it on, I would enjoy them all the same. And I'm just being honest. And I know there's people out there like, oh no, I'll tell you right now. Maybe by scent I could tell you. But yeah, they're all really nice. And it looks like everybody has made theirs, and I really like them. And you guys know I like them on the cheek too. I'm not doing that today, but I do like them on the cheek because Clinique and MAC said that we could, and I went crazy for a while there, but I've regained my composure. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at these bronzers. And I want to do one on each side, even though you've seen the, I know you've seen the swatches, but I just kind of want to show you and I really want to compare them to something. Now the shades that I got in these two they're somewhat similar actually, not too bad. Have you noticed? So this is the Lancome that I'm waving up and down here. And in the Lancome, I got the 3 light medium. And the By Terry, I got the 2 medium bronze. But the By Terry only has 4 available. And Lancome has 7 available. So the Lancome color range is a bit wider, which actually makes sense because they're not an independent brand. So they got a lot more money, a lot more power behind Lancome. Whereas By Terry is a much smaller makeup artist run brand. So, you know. Okay. All right, so let's try on the Lancome on this side. And the other thing I want to do really quickly is talk about bronzing. I have never gotten so many lectures in my comment section as when I bronze, and I ignore all of them. They're well-meaning, but I ignore all of them. There is bronzing, there is contouring, there is bronzing, there is warming the face. I have seen everything in my comment section, very dogmatic. Never from makeup artists, interestingly enough. Makeup artists are never dogmatic. Makeup artists are like very confident in their own skin, and they're like, do what you want. Do what makes you feel good. You want a tip? I'll give you a tip. Whatever. You're asking me, I'll tell you. You don't ask me and you're enjoying it, you're fine. Makeup artists are great. Very confident people. But non-makeup artists are very dogmatic. You have to make a 3. Never put it below here. Just light goes down here. Never below here unless you're... Go ahead and warm up your face. You can put it all over your darn face if you want to and make your foundation warmer or darker. Don't kill yourself with the rules. We'll do a little 3. That'll make some people happy here. Okay, so here is our Lancome. Let's talk about shades of a bronzer also. I'm just going to warm up just around the face. I said I'll make a little bit of a 3. And I'll even go down in here and a little bit onto the cheeks. So what color do you pick? Well, if you want to put it all over and make your face a little bit deeper, go 2 shades deeper. If you want to really look like you've been out in the sun, go 3 shades deeper. You want to be very subtle, go a little lighter than that. Pick whatever you want. There are no rules. Some people with their skin tone don't like it to go too warm. They feel if it gets a little red, it's a little too much. I could have definitely gone darker. Let's build it, shall we, a little bit? And then I'm going to tell you what this and the other remind me of. Okay, I'm going to build it mostly just for you guys to see on screen. There is a burst of fragrance in both of these products, including Lancome. And you're probably not going to be able to unsee this part right here. But if you hadn't seen it when I put it on, you would be able to unsee it, believe it or not. Okay, right now you're seeing it. Boy, are you seeing it. So I'm seeing it too. There we go. There we go. And you're still probably going to see it. But remember, when I do the other side, you won't. Okay? And I'm going to take this Refer number 1 brush and even add some of this Lancome product to the crease in my eye. And even underneath. Put a little blush put a blush here and a little blush here, and you're really set to go. That's very pretty. That Lancome product is very pretty. I want to tell you what it reminds me almost identically of, but so does the By Terry. So I'm going to wait and save that. Okay, let's do the same thing with a clean, also Sonia G, bronzing brush with our By Terry in our shade 2 medium bronze, okay? We also have a burst of fragrance that almost is candy scented on the By Terry, not roses. I bet you would think roses because we got used to the rose scent with By Terry. Isn't that pretty? And the By Terry really is meant for all over the face. Now there are going to be 2 different sides. Look to my face here, of course. The By Terry with its 4 shades is actually a little bit stronger. I have a clean number 1 brush here from Refer. So I'll take the By Terry and put that into the eyes. And again, the scent on the By Terry is kind of a candy scent, not a rose. Okay. These are both matte bronzers. Take a look here. They're both matte. If you see any little highlight, it's A, my natural skin, or B, a teeny bit of highlighter that I still have on there. The bronzers themselves are matte, and you should be able to see definitely very deep up on the... Do you know? Take a look. Which one do you guys like better? Am I almost... I'm liking the By Terry side a little better. It could be the shade, although those shades are very similar. This is the By Terry side. I'll help you out here. By Terry. Lancome. I'm not asking you for me. If I'm choosing on me, it's By Terry. I'm asking you for you to get a better idea. So I started looking at some other bronzers. I pulled out my Charlotte Tilbury powder bronzer, which I've always loved. I do love that bronzer. No, it didn't ring a bell there. And I pulled out my Armani. The Armani's a little bit thinner, a little bit more powdery. These are a little bit creamy. Both of them. Creamy and scented. And what's really interesting about these is they have the same amount, and they're both made in Italy, and they both last 24 months. It's not that uncommon to have makeup made in Italy or last 24 months if it's not clean beauty. So it's not like it was that outrageous, but I did find it interesting that they both are like that. And they both remind me very much of the YSL bronzer, which was fairly new the last few months. Why? Because all three of these, the YSL, the Lancome, and the By Terry, are creamy. And they're definitely almost feel like a cream to powder, but the way they spread on the skin is completely like powder. The way they feel in the pan is a bit thicker and a bit creamier. It's almost like a cushion to it. It's not just like a blow away powder. Almost has a thickness and a richness when you rub it between your fingers. I was talking to Makeup Craze. She and I were DMing. She's over on Instagram. You guys know Makeup Craze. She was saying she had heard YSL, and I agree with her. It's the first thing I thought of when I tried the Lancome. She was speaking about the Lancome. But when I tried the By Terry, I was surprised to see that they're very, very similar. I'm kind of liking the By Terry more, but, you know, I'm not sure that anybody would really be able to tell the difference. But yeah, I think if I had to choose for myself, I would choose the By Terry. Maybe I'd feel differently in editing. The scent on both of them is completely gone, but there is an initial burst of fragrance when you first put on the product. I want you to know that, and that goes for both products. Although it's not really roses. I would say the Lancome is I would say the Lancome is a slight fragranced, almost perfumey floral. And like I said, the By Terry is almost like a sugared candy scent, I would say. Yeah, that's what I would go with. But both beautiful. In terms of the Lip Idole Squalane 12 Butterglow, an absolutely beautiful product, but just as beautiful as all those other glowing, soothing, hydrating lipsticks are. And that's not a bad review. I'm just telling you like it is. The labs develop these formulas and they present them to a lot of different makeup companies who put their own casing, their own packaging, their own spin, their own marketing, and their own name, sometimes even their own color stories to it. So this is probably one that went out to many, I hate to tell you. But I did find the significance of the By Terry and the Lancome being released similarly, made similarly, and feeling similarly. So we might be splitting hairs way too much when we talk about which side of my face that we like more. I don't know. So if you could, please let me know your thoughts. I mean, that's what makes us a community. And I can see my comments already. I know what you guys are going to say. You're going to say, Rebecca, we are so inundated by bronzers with only one face. True. But if you were in the market to try one, would you mind telling me which one you think you would try? Because I would just absolutely love to know. Like I said, it's what makes us a community. Don't forget to like and share, and by all means make sure that you subscribe, as that is the kindest thing that you can do for me. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.